her entire hand, there were at least about 50 scars on that hand.
Boss, Yorker नहीं हुआ एक हाथ से second take है. But when like a Ekta Bayan goes and competes for a gold, it's a competition for a gold.
We didn't cheat. We didn't say she bowls, cut to the ball there. She's bowling and it's one shot because we shot it with actual broadcast cameras. How you cover IPL, we actually shot it with all those cameras.
I've never seen an actor physically go through what this girl went through in this film.
2007, India versus Pakistan, 2 matches.
2007 में मेरी नई शादी हुई थी, मुझे और कुछ याद नहीं है.
Hi guys, this is Himesh and welcome to Pinkvilla. Today we have with us the team of Ghoomer. Welcome to Pinkvilla guys, it's lovely having you here.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
My first question is to Balki sir. So what led you to this subject? I believe this is a subject you thought of in the pandemic and that's when it all started. So what led you to this subject?
No, this was an idea that my friend and colleague and writing partner Rahul Sengupta had about an athlete losing a right hand and winning with the left hand. But it was not based on cricket at that point in time, not based on anything. There was no story in that traditional way. So we wrote it. I thought the idea was fascinating, but how that has to be done and what it has to be done is something that we said, okay, we'll write it first and then figure. So when we wrote it, we said, okay, now this is fine. It's a sports film. It's a cricket film. Again, our trip was actually, the story was all perfect, but what do we add to cricket that we haven't seen before?
Yeah.
Yes, it is a one-handed girl playing cricket. That's very powerful. But beyond that, can the one-hand girl do something that the two-hand person has never done? Okay, and that is the trip. Not the one-hand person doing something as well as the two-handed person. Something that the two-handed can never think of. So that was the trip of doing this film. Actually, when we found that, we said, okay, this is a powerful film. Because when you're doing any sports film, and if you do football in Brazil, if you do cricket in India, you have to do more than cricket. You can't just do cricket.
Yeah. And Abhishek sir, when Balki sir came to you with the film, what was your first reaction to the subject and what led you to the film eventually?
This film has kind of evolved with time. Balki had discussed a concept with me, which was slightly different to the eventual concept of Ghoomer, and we tried to, figure that out. And then as Balki, I think the genesis of everything is he has to get the idea.
Yeah.
Once he gets the idea, then he builds on that, and he'll approach you with that idea. And this kind of just grew into what Ghoomer is eventually with Anina's character. It was slightly different before, and that concept never really panned out. And I think he kind of just then wove it into the script of Ghoomer. But once he was ready, he just kind of told me what the character was. We knew the basic storyline, but I think the great hook for me was the character. I like a certain contradiction in Paddy. I actually always, in my head, I think every actor looks at their character in a very unique way, which might not be what it comes across on screen, but that's what they need to be able to perform. I always looked at Paddy as the most sensitive, emotional person in the film. It's just that his way of demonstrating that is the complete opposite, and that was the kind of brief Balki had for me, and I enjoyed that because you don't really get a character which thinks one thing, but his way of displaying it is in a completely contrarian way. So I really enjoyed that. I liked the fact that he's got this venomous tongue. I like the fact that he's very bitter. I like the fact that he's nasty. He's not a pleasant person to talk to. He's very blatant. He's in your face. I liked all that, but all of this is coming from a deep-rooted love for what he does.
For the sport.
So I really enjoyed that. And, playing a coach, like Balki said, it can't just be about cricket. It's what more than that. So similarly, in a coach, it's just a coach who can't just be a mentor and teaching them what to do. What can you bring which is unique to see this character? And I'd like to believe that when you see the film, you will hopefully be intrigued to a certain extent that, okay, how is Paddy going to react to this? Because his reaction is also a bit of a Ghoomer, it comes out of nowhere. So I found it very exciting. So even like as an actor, I was very keen to read what's the next scene going to be like, because how is Paddy going to now react to this? Because uska reaction hamesha ulta hota hai. And so it was very exciting for me. So I mean, as an actor, I was very, very excited and inspired to do something like this. I've never done
The contrast.
a character like this. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
We can see that you are having a lot of fun. Even when we see you on the screen, we can see that you are enjoying the contrast in terms of the character.
Oh, really? Oh, thank you.
And Saiyami, you know, at the press con, Abhishek sir spoke about you of how no one else could have played this role apart from you. How does it feel when, you know, someone like him or Balki sir feels that you are the only one who can fit this part?
It feels great and they're being very kind, but I feel if someone puts in...
No. Stop all
Arey-
this.
He
knows
Humility.
the truth. She's just being
No, I'm saying
Let me
if...
tell you one thing. I've been around for my first film released in 2000, so now 23 years. 25 years I've been working in film, because I started shooting Refugee in 98.
Yeah.
I've done 70 odd films, and some of them have been really, really demanding. And I've never seen an actor physically go through what this girl went through in this film. Emotionally, I can't say, because she's very composed and she doesn't, you know. But I mean, she's not going to show you now, but I remember there's the scene of her chopping the tree and all. Her entire hand, there were at least about 50 scars on that hand. She was cut up. She needed, tetanus shots, and we didn't even know.
That it's
Balki actually pointed it out to me on the third day. When he said, look at her forearms, and it's just literally cut, not scratched, cut. And that's just one of the things. Can you imagine doing an entire film with one hand behind your back? Try and conduct this interview with just one hand.
if I need to
No,
even
it's unbelievable. And that also, with your ulta hath, it's something else. Then to play a sport which she's played all her life from the right, now to play. I mean,
See, where I was getting to.
the hard work this girl has done, I've not seen many actors do that. And I really, genuinely, I'm not saying this because of here, genuinely, the one thing I hope is an outcome for this film, I mean, we come secondary, is that people recognize the talent that this girl is and give her due credit, because she's really earned it. She's fantastic.
And there is something in the sport, even when you see the game in the last 30 minutes, you will be amazed by a girl with a hand tied doing an action that nobody else has ever done. I defy a lot of cricketers, senior cricketers also, to kind of get it absolutely right in first shot.
Yeah.
And we didn't cheat. We didn't say she bowls, cut to the ball there. She's bowling, and it's one shot, because we shot it with actual broadcast cameras. How you cover IPL, we actually shot it with all those cameras. So you're catching it live there. So we're not cheating. So for her to get it right, the kind of training that she must go through, her shoulder's gone, she must have been sprained so many times. Sometimes she gave me a gift of a massage machine, which she actually needed 7 of them. So I think it was a really strenuous kind of a thing for her. Also emotionally, it was a gut-wrenching exercise, because both of us, Abhishek and I, were in the room when she had to do a scene where she had to, really break down and do things like that. I mean, there were, 13, 14 times she did the same thing with increasing intensity each time. We thought we got it right. Something else went wrong, She used to go to the loo, listen to some old songs, whatever the songs that make her cry. And God knows what she thinks, because she has not an ounce of sorrow in her life. I always tell her, there's nothing sad about her.
Yeah.
But she loves sadness. So she goes, puts on something else, comes and howls in one thing. There was a time when Shabana ji, who's seen it all.
Yeah.
I mean, she was very respectfully withdrawing, giving her the space. She was so kind of, amazed by this girl's ability to kind of just crack up like that. She moved out. She didn't want to disturb her. She was so scared to even go talk to her. And Shavana can be very, very, firm with certain things. But she didn't. She had so much respect for her. It was like nice to see that. And when you see a performer, I mean, when you're seeing a character, so as for me, as for any filmmaker, for anybody, you're seeing a character. You're not seeing an actor out there. You're seeing that. And I did get moved quite a bit when I was watching her, And when I was watching him too, and her, because that was so intense and so very real, it just shook something inside me. So there were moments like that between these two people in terms of performances that are very rare.
Touching.
I think despite all that he said about her, is that
Yeah.
she did it all with a lot of grace. You know, we as actors, sometimes we're so involved, we want to make a show of that. Dekho main kaam kar raha hu, ye dekho sab kat gaya hai. Never.
Yeah.
Even in that scene that he's talking about, when you see that film, it's
Yeah.
oof, it's tough. But she never makes a big deal out of it. I'm concentrating, silence in the room. No, she's just, you know, she's just in a...
They've been very kind. If I could answer what you asked me. See, I'm saying, yes, I love the sport, and like he said, no one else could have done it and all of that. I just feel like with what Farhan did in Milkha, I know he put in, because of Rakesh Sir, I know he put in solid time behind it.
Yeah.
He was not a sprinter. So I know he's had hamstring tears, he's had enormous injuries through the process, and he has run that. So as an actor, yes, it was simpler because I know the sport, obviously not so much because of the other hand. But if someone gives in 2 years, 3 years of their time, where usually people don't have that time or don't want to give that time, it can be done. But most people don't have that kind of time. And again, I feel we take ourselves too seriously as actors, or we are making films and we think we are doing the world a big favor. But actually out there...
We are, by the way.
I know, but
It's a
I'm
very
just-
big deal. You have to take it seriously, yeah? Yes, sir?
No, I'm saying that out there, like the athletes I spoke to, you feel so small in front of them. You feel like finally you're just making a film. Like, just keep your mouth shut and do it. So, like I spoke to a lot of athletes, so the effort didn't feel like anything in front of what the effort. And I'm not saying para athletes, I'm saying athletes, because they think they're sportsmen. They are sportsmen who are competing at the highest level. So when I listen to their stories, I still say, boss, Yorker nahi hua ek haath se, second take hai. But when like a Ekta Bayan goes and competes for a gold, it's a competition for a gold. So that's when I realize is effort, all this injury, all this is all fine. But there are people doing much bigger things out there in the real world.
Yes, that's true. And plus, there's no second take over there.
Correct.
Okay, so now there's one section. So since the film is set against the backdrop of cricket, I'll just name some of the matches, and you will have to, like, let's see if you all remember the result of that game and what was so iconic about it and what were you doing at that time, in brief, basically. So anyone who knows the answer can say it first. So let's start with Northwest Series 2002 final. What was iconic about it, the result, and what were you doing?
Northwest.
Yeah.
UV and Kev 326 Lords.
Yes.
My father switched off the TV, but I didn't switch it off. I'm a pure...
Okay, and what?
2002?
Northwest Series.
That's
So,
exactly.
yeah, that's the one. Okay.
Saurav Ganguly's chair.
Yeah, yeah.
That's why you chose that, right?
I started with that. I started watching cricket religiously from 2002, and this was the first series. So, yeah. Okay, second one. 2003 India versus Australia.
The World Cup, when UV got 57.
The World Cup final, which India
Which
lost.
we lost.
Yeah.
The Master got out on 4.
Yes.
This is Joburg.
So,
Joburg.
yes, the final.
Glenn
World Cup.
McGrath got him on 4.
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
the
4,
first
4, 4.
over, yeah.
You don't remember or what?
He's tired.
Yeah.
Bad memory.
Okay, but
You
what
were
was
there,
that?
nah? You were there. You were
So you
in
watched it over
Centurion.
there. So what was the experience like over there? Like, basically, if you couldn't tell in brief, what were you doing
Lots of
at?
beers to drown the sorrows because they smashed us.
But you saw the finals, you saw the
I saw the
Pakistan
finals.
game.
The Pakistan game I saw, but see, when India's playing really well, nobody goes out to drink. When India's really playing well is when the bar is full. They don't get that.
Okay. The next one is also another heartbreak. 2007 India versus Bangladesh.
2007.
Was a very long time ago, 2007.
But it's a very
Masters double 100, na?
no.
He lost, right?
We
The World
lost to
Cup
Bangladesh.
where we got knocked
Ah,
out.
we
the
got
knockout,
knocked out.
yeah.
We lost that, yeah.
Okay, the next one is T20. I'm sorry, it's junk, I know.
But T20 is fine.
Oh, you like?
Because last IPL was possibly one of the best tournaments that I've seen. Though I'm not a great T20
Yeah.
fan, but I loved it.
Okay. Okay, this one is most iconic. I think even Sir would.
I've known all of this. They just
Really?
beat me to answering it all.
2007 India versus Pakistan. 2 matches.
2007.
7.
साथ में मेरी नई नई शादी हुई थी मुझे और कुछ याद नहीं है.
नहीं, जोगिंदर शर्मा यार.
Final India
Finals,
versus
MS
World Cup
Dhoni.
final. India won. Last ball catch.
Oh, the
That
Dhoni's
Misbah, right,
first,
the last
first
one.
series
Yeah.
as captain.
T20 World
The
Cup.
T20 World
T20,
Cup
that's
when
right.
Misbah
Yeah.
hit
Bowler.
Yes.
hit
Yeah,
us.
got it.
Correct. See, I remember that.
South Africa.
Yes.
I was in South Africa at that time.
Oh yeah?
I was on my way to Namibia. I was shooting for Drona. See, I remember.
But you watched the game or?
No, I just said I was on my way. No, I was on the
Achha,
flight.
Okay. Okay.
And the captain announced it on the PA system.
I didn't. Okay. This one I expect you to remember because this is.
I
But he
remembered the last one
remembered all.
also.
He remembered
but
all.
they helped you with that. About
We're
the
truly a team. I help her in the film, na? She's helping me.
2010, India versus South Africa.
God's double century, right?
Yeah.
India or South Africa?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sachin's.
The
First
first
ever
ever player
double,
to score a double century.
First, it was he hit it through square cut
Outstanding.
and then double.
Wow, she has the best memory.
Ask her.
Anything about Master.
Every run Sachin has scored, Sachin does not remember, she remembers.
Really? You're
But
that?
he is very good. You ask him in the 34th match, 14th ball, what happened, he remembers. He's crazy with his memory.
Okay, last two.
The fact that she knows to ask him that question is also a bit
Yeah.
scary. 34th match, 14th over, third ball.
He remembers like who
Yeah, but the
got
fact that
him
you
out.
also remember that, na? To ask him the question. अगर आप सवाल पूछोगी तो जवाब तो you should know, na? You know that. That's scary.
Yeah. 2011 World Cup, India versus England.
2015 we won. 2011 India versus England
We
was
lost, no, that-
UV.
We didn't.
No, 2011 we won the World Cup, guys.
15
in
we
India.
won.
15.
15
11
we
we
won.
won.
2011
15
one
we
day
lost.
World Cup we
Huh.
won.
Yeah,
Yeah,
11.
2011
2nd
one day.
April 2011,
Correct.
Wankhede Stadium.
Yeah, Wankhede
Yes.
Stadium, yeah. India versus England. Clear the room. Okay.
And last one, India versus Sri Lanka 2011.
Six.
Yeah, that's the
Helicopter.
Final.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what about it?
What you have to say?
We
your
won the
mem-
World Cup. What
Huh,
more?
I
your
was there, the
memories
ball
with-
came to me.
yeah.
I was at Wankhede Stadium and Dhoni hit the six to me.
Because you had asked him, either pass
He really
karna.
did.
He knows.
Like it was 4 rows in front of me.
Really?
Yeah.
Which Indian doesn't remember that? As all Indians, we were responsible for that win. It had nothing to do with those 11 gladiators in the middle of the pitch. It was all India was.
Correct.
So I had tickets, I remember, for the semi-final, India-Pakistan in Mohali.
Yeah.
And everything was organized, play and win, everything. And the match before that, we won. तो वो टशन का सब लोग का होता है ना कि शायद and it's a big match, yeah. India, Pakistan, leaders of the states were coming. Semi-final on home soil. Actually, cancel kar do. Get rid of it. You will sit here only.
Yeah.
So I remember sitting in my house on the sofa, and we won. So then I had tickets to go to Wankhede. Also, he said, no, boss.
Oh, you didn't go.
Don't break the Tushan. I wore the same clothes, same everything, down to the intimates. Everything the same, sat in the same position at that exact over, ate or had that sip of water or whatever. My father was sitting in the room inside because he's superstitious that if I watch the match, we'll lose. So I had to keep telling him the score. I remember my wife was there, my mother was somewhere. And I just remember going completely nuts and running up and down the house. We went crazy, and it's a memory of a lifetime. हम लोग, Dad, Aishwarya और मैं घर से निकले थे because we had seen everybody's on the road. It was a party in Juhu.
Yeah, absolutely. Everywhere.
And that party on the road went on till about 5, 6 in the morning.
Yeah.
And I remember the next day, we finally got up, and I remember I went to my in-laws because my in-laws used to stay in the same building as Sachin, and they were one floor above him. And I remember he came with full police escort and everything because, and he came there. I remember I went in.
Oh, the next day.
The next day, when he got home, I got to meet him. And he was so sweet. He was amazing. I mean, every Indian has great memories. But that energy in Mumbai at that point of time was crazy.
That's the power of sport.
True, it brings everyone together. Perfect. On that note, thank you so much. It was lovely speaking
Thank you.
to all
Thank
of you.
you.
And wish you all the best for the film.
Thank you.
so much.
Thank you.